8 o'clock. Let's call the meeting of the North Cooch Area Sanitary District to order. We do have a quorum. Let the record show that Terry, John Bruggeman, Mike Holden are absent. First item on the agenda would be the motion to accept the agenda.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second.
That was Walt and Brian?
Yes,
Brian and Walt.
Walt and Brian.
Is there any changes to the agenda? There being none, all those in favor of the motion to accept the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. We have the July 19th North Cooch Board meeting minutes. The motion would be in order for approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any changes, questions, comments? There being none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have the August 10th Personnel and Human Resource minutes. Motion would be in order for approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any changes, questions, comments? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. You have the August disbursements of $114,718.76. Motion would be in order for approval.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. You have the North Cooch financials. These will be put on file for their auditors. Are there any questions concerning these?
John,
Yes?
can we let Bob in before we discuss the financials, and then I'll go through a few things?
Bob?
Yes.
You're on.
I'm here.
Go ahead, Bob.
Okay, the Jason had sent through just a brief update for our work over the last month. Has been working with you guys and with International Falls on the upgrades to lift station number 7, and there's been a lot of correspondence going back and forth on that. The problem is that their intent was asking for an increase in flow, and we're reluctant to recommend that be approved as it is, because there's already a problem downstream of that lift station that will only exacerbate it. So the hope is that by trying to do an I-9 at the same time, that we could get that so that lift station may be upgraded in the future, but only if the downstream can take the flow that would come out of that. So that's kind of ongoing right now. They were going to put variable frequency drives in, and we were looking for a way to make sure that those drives would be dialed back to the point where their flows wouldn't increase until the capacity downstream was available. The other thing we got going on is the bidding documents for the EQ Basin project, and I'm hoping to schedule a trip out to the district hopefully Thursday of this week, if that works, or the first part of next week, to get field measurements to add the screen and the additional flow meter that we talked about in the past. And then at that point, then those will be ready for bidding and construction this fall. We had a continuing services agreement that had a limit of $5,000 on it, and as of the end of this month, with the work that's going on with with International Falls and lift station number 7 and some of the I&I stuff, we're kind of maxed out to that limits. I'm sure Jason has talked to Callie about that, I think, and what that, address that down the road here. Other than that, that's all I've got.
That lift station you're talking about downstream, that's the one at 15th and 5th Avenue East? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Last night that was approved to have a design made for that.
Yes.
I Falls approved it last night at the council meeting that there's gonna be a design put up, started for that, rebuilding that one too, so. Just so you're aware of that, I didn't know if you were.
I was not. Thank you.
Any questions, Bob? There being none, Kaylee?
Well, we have an addendum to look at further down in the packet, so we had talked about that at the last meeting. We want to look at it right now. Right behind your financials.
Okay. The financial reports, you have the budget versus the actual, the checking, savings, and investment report. Income expenses, previous year comparison. Are any questions on these?
I was just gonna go through the budget a little bit, the budget versus actual, just to point out a couple of things to you. Our income is looking pretty solid right now. Our expenses, of course, you can see our salaries are up. And the reason being is overtime with the flood hours. You just keep paging through, we're pretty much right on schedule with the budget. When we get to the middle of it, under utilities and fuel and water is good, but you can see our utilities fuel is way up, and so is our electrical. And you can also see under maintenance, chlorine is up a bit, or the chlorine building, I should say, because we did some upgrades there. Next page, account 462, vehicle expense. Looks pretty good. Greg, we were looking at replacing some tires on one of the trucks. Did that happen, or?
Not yet.
You decided not to do it, or what?
Well, we should do it by fall though. Before winter, that's on the 17th.
Okay, you were getting a couple of different prices,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Alright. And again, on account 468, you can see our vehicle fuel, that's up. As I'm sure everybody's fuel is. Next page, account 476 under the lab. You can see our chemicals are up by quite a bit. And that's because of all the additional and more testing that we had to do. But all in all, our overall bottom line still looks good. So unless you have questions.
There being no questions, these reports will be put on file for our auditors. Staff and committee reports, operators report. Greg?
Mr. Chairman, board members, just got a couple things here. We just received our results back from the DMRQA study that we participated in. We participate in that every year, and we passed all our tests for that, and Tom and I submitted all the results to the MPCA yesterday to our coordinator, which is Sarah Yost. She's with the MPCA. So that's all been submitted yesterday, all our results from our DMR QA study. Also, we've been working on getting a few pumps rebuilt. I talked last time about having a spare pump for lift station 7, a 10 horse. That pump is back. And we've got that installed. We've got one other pump out getting an estimate on to get repaired for lift station 7, our 10 horse. And we've got the quote on that. That's $7,500 to repair that, but we haven't went ahead with that yet. We also are getting some other pumps repaired and quotes on them for like lift station 11 up in East Cooch. And we're gonna see what happens. Maybe we can get some funding from the flood issues there to get some of this stuff paid for. I went to a meeting the other day at the Law Enforcement Center regarding FEMA funding, and I think we're gonna be eligible to maybe get some of this stuff taken care of because of the issues. So we'll see what happens there. We'll work at that. Biosolids. This week we're sending all our sludge analysis in for testing. So we're ready to haul biosolids hopefully next month. We also have, we send, certain samples get sent to PACE, and these fecal samples, we have to take 7 sludge samples per fecal test. We'll have to ship them directly to Minnesota Valley and testing laboratories in the cities, and we'll have to ship them overnight and ice them down. They have to be there within 24 hours. Last year, we didn't make that time slot, and we were out of compliance on that for our biosolids last year, but we're gonna make sure that all gets shipped in time this year. So that's what we're working on now. We just talked to the farmer about hauling, and we're gonna try to shoot for hopefully in September to get our biosolids hauled. We're sitting at over 200,000 gallons in the storage tank right now, but we're still continuing, and every other day we're making sludge. So we should be ready for that. That's about all I got. We're just trying to get things cleaned up the lake, you know, for the flood, and staying on top of everything we can.
Any questions of Greg?
Let's hope it dries up so you can put the biosolids out.
Yeah.
Wait for frost.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Greg.
right.
Thanks, Jake.
Director's report.
Okay, in regards to the new hire, the Personnel Human Resources Committee met, and I had put together some facts that East Cooch can review and also probably take to the county board. And so the next step is to have the 2 groups meet again, and that meeting is set for August 25th. So at that time, we'll be going over the facts and then see what East Cooch and North Cooch come up with. Our OpWorks update, John continues to work and get the information for the reports. And the last I heard from Caleb was yesterday. He said Tom has done a great job with setting up all the lab and lab reports and helping with formulas so that they're ready to start using it. And he worked with John too, and he said John, you know, does a great job helping him with the reports and stuff. So now when it all comes together, everybody's gonna have to pitch in and figure out what's going on, including Greg and I. So, and yeah, I just wanted to iterate. It's easy for me to say. Greg spent 3.5 hours over at the city going through the FEMA stuff when I was in a board meeting here. And he filled out the papers to get us started, and so now we have to start compiling inventory that we feel was affected by the floods. So. And then, according to Greg, somebody will come up from the FEMA office and actually sit down with us and go through it.
A lot of paperwork.
Which will make it a lot easier, because just by reading it, it's going to be complicated.
A lot of paperwork.
Yeah. The other thing is the budget committee meeting. We wanted to start meeting, and on the budget committee, we have Don, Walt, John, and Terry. And I think at this time, maybe we should have another person. And then at such time, if Terry comes back to the board, or when he comes back to the board, then that person, if we're still in the process, can step down and Terry can come back in. But if we've got somebody that's knowledgeable of the budget that wants to pitch in, I would like to see us meet Wednesday, September 14th at 8 a.m. Can't do that?
Okay.
Okay, well, we could pick another date.
I'm leaving the 11th for probably about 2 weeks. Guessing
September
that's on a Sunday.
11th. You wanna meet on the 8th?
Can do that. Yep. If everybody else can, whatever.
Don, does that work for you?
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Yeah,
Can we do, like 10 o'clock?
Sure.
I have an appointment at 8, so.
so
If you work 10, are you gone for 11 though, on a Thursday?
Yeah, but the first budget committee meeting won't take quite that long,
Okay.
so. But
So
thanks
it's
for reminding me. I'll
it's
put it in.
September 8th at 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
You want me to fill in for Terry?
Who wants to fill in for Derek?
I'll fill in.
Alright. Okay, September board meeting, we'd like to move it to 9 a.m. on the 27th instead of 8, because Jason Short will be driving up for our meeting, and it just gives him a little bit more time to get here.
Jason Short?
Oh, Jason Short. Jason Chop.
When is that now? 27th?
27th,
9 o'clock? Instead of 8?
9 a.m.
Ooh. Now, September 27th,
Yeah.
don't we have a hospital board meeting?
Can we have an afternoon board meeting?
As long as it doesn't interfere with my nap. No,
It's
I
gonna be
don't
after-
take naps.
What?
I said as long as it doesn't interfere with my nap, but I don't take naps anyway, so.
Okay. Could we do like, September 27th at 1? Or at 11?
Whatever, yeah.
How about 10?
Are you done with hospital board?
We should be done by 10. If I have to, I'll leave.
Okay. So 10 a.m. then.
10 o'clock on the 27th.
All right,
All right,
I'll let Jason know.
September 27th.
And then looking at the roof, Greg did get, well, he never did get in touch with, the person we were trying to get that did our roof before. So I went and talked with Robert, and shingles are way up, almost double from what they were last year. The roof is not leaking, and so even though we have it budgeted, I think what we'll do is just wait till next year and have it, and budget it again, and see if we can find somebody. I think right now the contractors are so,
Easier to get somebody next year than it will be now,
Yeah.
we hope anyway.
they're so busy right now, and they're able to charge whatever they want because people have to have them.
Well, they're helping people that need help right now,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
If we don't have a leak, I don't think we need to push
It
it.
might be smart to buy your shingles ahead of time and then you just have to pay the labor next year.
Yeah.
You don't think the price on them will come down, or?
Not a lot
No.
of it, no. But,
And we can do that, I mean, at least buy the shingles.
We got the measurement on it? You know how many squares we need?
it won't be that hard to figure it out.
No, but we don't have that yet though, right?
What about the driveway out there? We got that in the budget?
Let's
No,
take the
that's
roof, let's
something-
take the roof and put it in the driveway.
Yeah, that's
That,
something the
that
budget
driveway's
committee
terrible,
will.
somebody's gonna get hurt.
But could
The
we do
budget
that and get
committee
that
will
driveway
look at that.
fixed right away?
Pardon me?
Be nice if we get that fixed before winter,
Yeah,
that driveway.
Oh, well,
Somebody's gonna hit that one on rebar there with a snowplow and they're gonna wish they wouldn't have hit it.
yeah.
I don't even know who we would get.
Who bought it, what's his name from Little Fork, or from Big Falls? Remember the guy that used to do it, the driveways?
Who did,
It's cement, right? Don't ce-
Concrete, yeah.
Huh?
It's concrete.
pull it out?
Put our,
Pull it out, but blacktop down, you could.
Yeah,
Or if you're gonna pour it again.
about those people that did our driveway.
yeah, you get a hold of them. They'd have it done in a day,
L&L?
L&L.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, why don't we get an estimate on it?
You
We'll
want me
come
to?
over and get an estimate on it, and
Yeah,
next meeting we'll know what we talk about and she can
Right.
do it.
yeah,
Or if we need to, we can email out an estimate to all of us and we can decide if you wanna email back and say yes or no, and that way we don't have to have a special meeting and just,
right on,
cause right now we don't got much time left anymore now,
right on.
Yeah,
so we gotta move forward if they're gonna do it.
I'll probably have to try to get a couple of bids.
If they got time,
Yeah,
if they got time.
yeah, I have Nick's number I can give to, get a hold of L&L.
Yeah, look
Okay,
into it anyway. Yeah.
all right, I'll look into it then. And then do you want me to wait on the shingles, or do you want me to go ahead and purchase the shingles for next year?
Well, I just do just the budget for this driveway to get that in this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's worry about this next
Wait
year.
on the shingles?
Yeah,
this
Okay.
Yeah, the roof isn't that bad.
That's gonna be
They're
enough right
not-
there to
they're hardly
cover
curled
everything,
up
yeah.
yet, so I think the roof
I think that's gonna cost at
pretty
least as much as
decent
the roof
shape
would.
yet.
I
Get
think
by
we
a couple
have,
years, I think.
not sure what we have budgeted, I can't remember, I could look it up, but, anyway, well, all right, I will do that. That's all I have.
Okay, moving on down the agenda, amendment number 1 to the agreement for professional services of SEH. You have any comments on that, Kate? Kate?
This is for the mechanical screen design. And the sum is at 10,700.
One other thing that we added into that, after talking with Greg, is a meter to be able to meter the amount of flow that's bypassing.
That makes sense too.
That's in that 10,000? Or-
Yes. For the engineering for it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see it in the amendment, but,
But if you read the drawing, the first bullet item, it said drawing revisions to include mechanical.
oh, yeah,
screen.
that's
Revision
it.
of the flow meter.
Third floor meter.
There it is.
Okay. So if the board will allow me, I can go ahead and sign it.
A motion would be in order to approve
So move.
Second,
and authorize the proper signatures. We have a motion and a second. Any further questions, comments? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
And just so the board knows that, the engineering costs are included, that we can use as the EQ basin upgrade. So we will be using WIF funds for that.
Next item on the agenda is the research for the new hire.
I already went through that to my director.
Okay. Correspondence with funds to be transferred is $20,555, and the PFA payment is $347,195.03.
Mr. Thompson, are you around to go sign that?
And the next meeting will be September 27th at 10 a.m.
Did she say Mr. Thompson?
My dad died.
Oh.
Anything
Oh,
else
yeah,
come
totally.
before this board? There being nothing, meeting adjourned.